The interior met Juliet's eyes with an explosion of color and shine. It was what she imagined a dragon's hoard might look like. Catering extended out into the hallway, gourmet aromas which carried out into an open hall polished and ready for dancing. Juliet, bewitched by her own curiosity, found herself suddenly at the center of it all. More partygoers filtered inside, while many others remained in the courtyard. Whiteheart's automobile was far from the last to pull in. Inside was yet another band, a fuller arrangement enticing even Juliet to sway as they played. The black-haired lady entwined her other hand in the master's, a dramatic eye roll coming from her as they found their feet. Juliet moved closer, pretending her fixation lay on a tray of stuffed mushrooms. Instead, she kept her good ear turned to the couple. There was little to be heard from the pair. Their conversation was entirely silent, with the exchange of expressions and movement. Dancing was an arduous task for the woman, the man hardly interested either. Things only seemed to pick up when the woman began purposefully attempting to step on his feet. She flashed a toying grin, and then he spun her around, opting not to reel her back in. She slipped from his fingers, bumbling in Juliet's direction. "Why do I do this to myself?" the woman grumbled. She strained her eyes, the line of her gaze drawing towards Juliet. "He seems fun." Juliet tried to match the woman's tired tone. "A blast." Juliet felt weightless as they looked one another over. Juliet could count every last iridescent black pearl on the lady's dress. When she moved her mouth, she could see the end of black lipstick, the fraction of uncovered lip. "You two an item?" She scoffed. "Ew. No. More like siblings." "Sorry, I shouldn't have assumed." She grabbed one of the stuffed mushrooms, taking a bite to keep her mouth from saying anything stupid. "I'm Nikki." She took the remainder of the hors d'oeuvre from Juliet, throwing it to the back of her mouth. Her teeth were sharp like a fox's. As Nikki stared at Juliet, her irises changed in hue, brightening to a violet. "Do you dance?" Juliet choked down her mushroom. Not to this sort of music." "Then I'll lead." She brightened into a sharp grin, nails digging into Juliet's palms. Nikki yanked Juliet to the floor. Her movements were more erratic than any of the men Juliet had danced with in the past. If any had pushed her with such tenacity, she'd knock them out with her purse. But with Nikki, her mind was in the deep end. She could hardly breathe, let alone smack her partner. She couldn't figure out how to place her feet. The movements were too quick, and her vision already dizzy. Nikki took to spinning her. A lot. The woman had a flair for the erratic. As the music swelled, Juliet couldn't tell whether she was standing still or not. Regardless of which was the truth, the world was spinning. Her fingers slipped free of Nikki. Again and again, she saw the shadowy blur of her partner as the spinning continued. The latest song ended when Juliet knocked into another dancer. While the impact knocked neither of them over, the sudden stop made Juliet unsteady. She rotated her head, trying to balance out the room. But in a second, she fell back onto her rear. "Oh, good goddess of light," she uttered. She covered her head in her hands. Not only did it still the whirling colors, it hid her embarrassment. "Lost your feet, A voice came from above, from the woman she must have hit. "I'm so sorry. I really don't know what happened." "Looks to me like your date left for a drink." "My date?" Juliet peeked between her fingers. "She was not my—" Juliet lost her voice. Above her stood a stark naked woman. That alone was enough to silence her and send blood rushing to her cheeks, but it wasn't the end of it. The woman looked straight from the silver screen. Her hair was a curly bob of red, her lips glossy without a hint of makeup. Scattered about her body were patches of red scales. The dragon. The dragon extended her hand down to Juliet. "You all right there, Wellin?" Wellin? "That's your name, right?" The dragon tilted her head, hand still extended. "I'm Miss Wellin, yes. But how do you know that?" "Dawn sent me your way," he said. "Look for the girl in last decade's drapery." She grinned into a laugh, teeth sharp like Nikki's. "Now, Do you want to talk on the floor? Juliet shook her head. She hesitated to touch her claw-tipped fingers. Her sharp gold eyes looked like a fox ready to pounce. Juliet firmed her palms to the ground instead, bringing herself to her feet with as much dignity as she could muster. The dragon's smile fell. All danced out? Yes. I don't treat my followers like a toy to throw around, the dragon assured. I mean, if that's your concern. I'm not here to party, just got swept up in it. Juliet attempted to wave away the heat of her blush. I came to talk to you. Then why not make the most of the music? Juliet took a step back. No, I'm good. Oh, please. You may be here for business, but this is my last night of fun. The dragon smiled again. We could wait on a slower... She tilted her head. As if on cue, the music slowed. Couples found one another. The hot-footed mulled off for a break. No, I'll be quick. You can have the night after... Is my breath bad? She teased, blowing smoke in Juliet's direction. The cloud came from her teeth, no cigarette to speak of. Juliet waved away the smoke before leaning in. She glanced on either side of her. Many of the crowd had their eyes on them. You're naked, Juliet hissed. The dragon cackled, practically falling to her knees. What did you expect? Before attention was drawn to them, it felt like all her blood went to her cheeks, a height of embarrassment even she wasn't familiar with. I'm no floozy. You think I spend my days getting drunk and dancing in the nude? Of course not. That should be abundantly clear based on my appearance alone. The dragon's hands latched onto hers, and once again Juliet found her own hands soften. Perhaps it was some spell that dragons could cast. It wasn't absurd to think. I'm Feria, the dragon said. Juliet nodded in response. She followed Feria's lead, slow steps guiding her back onto the floor. Feria's claws rested gently on the backs of Juliet's hands. As one would expect, the dragon was uncomfortably warm, but that's not to say she was uncomfortable in the same way as sweaty-palmed sirs. It was more the discomfort of sitting too close to the fireplace after a long, cold day. The heat burned brighter as Feria leaned in. Her chin crossed over Juliet's shoulder, her breath warm over her ear. How long has it been growing in there? A shiver ran through Juliet. A couple weeks, she replied. Maybe a month? That's when a leaf appeared? I see. Feria sounded serious. Is it bad? It can be. Feria nodded. I'm colleagues with the elf responsible for this. I think she may have selected you to help us. Selected me? Yes. She stilled, looking down at Juliet. For what? I can't tell you unless you accept. Juliet frowned. I'm not accepting any business where I don't know the details. Understandable, the dragon sighed. Then I'll ask that she remove this spell from you. Though, given your snooping on her property, I can't guarantee a result you'll like. What do you mean? I've seen these roots once before, and they are meant to keep you silent. Gruesome things, though. Not what I'd do in her position. Gruesome? Feria nodded. Should you reveal whatever secret you're meant to keep, they'll rip you apart. Juliet froze, eyes wide. What secret am I not supposed to tell? Hush now. This is exactly why I can't discuss things with you. She's likely seeded you in preparation for all this. If you shy away, I'm sure you'll be fine. Would I need to accept right now? Or can I think about it? No. This is ridiculous. Exactly the wrong thing I should be doing. Is it dangerous? Illegal? Yes. And at some points, maybe. My mother would lose it. Oh, darling, your mother wouldn't be in on any of this. Juliet relaxed her shoulders. Right. Okay. But when you say dangerous, how dangerous? Unfathomably. The thought weighed heavy on Juliet. The gravity at least dampened her blush. I'll need to think about it. Of course. The dragon guided her quietly across the dance floor. Juliet could find no words, entranced by the smoke which danced between them. It swirled around as they did, but it remained in motion even when they and the music stopped. Meet me at the Cat's Fancy tomorrow at 9, downstairs. I want you dolled up in your best dress." Feria released Juliet from her hands. The chill without them was stark, their absence a sudden winter. "It's been lovely, Miss Welland." Juliet's voice creaked unintelligibly, only regaining it when the dragon parted the crowd. You too."